hand clap, brothers and sisters. We have finally made it to another reaction on this Mystelics Reacts channel. Welcome to every single one of you guys. All the Mystelics family and new video with hand clap. Goes out to you guys continuing to see what's up with my thoughts and comments. What are yours, brothers and sisters? Leave your thoughts and comments also in the comment box below. These are mine. What are yours? Leave your thoughts. Let's share back and forth. Of course, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Keep it in mind, brothers and sisters, we are back again for yet another week. Of course, as indicated right there, I'll be reacting to the comments of the video that has the most comments for the week. So definitely leave your thoughts and comments on this here reaction vibrations, brothers and sisters. We actually did another one on Saturday, which was pretty nice. And of course, a number of persons tend to show up for that one. Big up all yourself one time for being a part of this here vibrations. I think I need to do it live. What are your thoughts, guys? You think I need to do it live on the Saturday, do the live interaction reaction? Of course, we will see how that goes. I tend to do it on BrBpTV. I was supposed to drop a video on BrBpTV. Unfortunately, I was not able to do so. However, brothers and sisters, don't forget to click the thumbs up button on this here reaction vibrations. Click it to help push these videos further and further. And of course, to do what? Of course, for YouTube to notify, of course, and recommend more of my videos to you as well. So you won't say, Mystelics, but I don't see your stuff. Click the thumbs up button. YouTube will definitely recommend more of my videos. Of course, subscribe and post. Click the post notification bell for you to be able to get my videos when I post and publish them, brothers and sisters. Definitely do so. Click the bell when you subscribe. So, of course, you'll be notified when I post and publish them right here. Anyways, brothers and sisters, without further ado, let us get into the vibrations for the day. Of course, brothers and sisters, it's very interesting in the nation of the Caribbean that we have reached a mark where we are excited when we see the garbage trucks are out there picking up garbage. In the nature island of the Caribbean, we are excited that garbage trucks are picking up garbage. This, of course, from my understanding, is in the Dodan region. And a garbage truck of what appears to be something that we have never seen before. Maybe a modernized type of garbage truck. I don't know, brothers and sisters, but it's bigger than the rest. So that means they should be picking up more garbage than before. All right. And from my understanding, this is the Dodan region. As you can see, the individuals are out there cleaning up the garbage, making sure the place stays rat infested free, brothers and sisters. So hopefully the garbage then gets to be disposed of properly in the proper areas, that of which I think they need to be done, or need to be done, that needs to be done right there. So the garbage truck is out there, brothers and sisters, picking up garbage. And we can safely see that we are seeing the garbage trucks in full effect. They're in full effect, brothers and sisters. And of course, making sure that place stay clean. Talking about clean, brothers and sisters, we have the tourist season still going on in Dominica, which of course I think is a good thing. So we have to make sure the place stay clean, not for the tourists, but for the local people, to make sure that they stay far from leptospirosis. Yes, man. You have to stay far from them kind of crazy stuff that rats and other sick animals just bring, brothers and sisters. But of course, we have none other than the cruise season, which of course continues December 1st, which is today, until the 7th. We have a number of ships coming in right here. Of course, the first we have one ship that is today that is most likely about to leave. So hopefully a number of the cruise ship definitely participated. Hopefully they put them in the port region where they have all the containers. You know, it's one. So hopefully they put them in the proper area right there. Of course, tomorrow we have another one. The Valiant Lady. Of course, the Valiant Lady, I think, has been coming right there. Of course, I must make mention that on the two, it seems like they listen to me, because I'm telling people, why don't the cruise ship come down to the Portsmouth region, the Cabrit's cruise ship berth? Because the beaches are there. When cruise ship passengers tend to come out, they mainly go to the beach. They tend to do a lot of shopping and this kind of things there. I think when it comes down to the aspect of shopping, Rose will be a more suitable area, because Portsmouth doesn't have that kind of, you know, the kind of stuff that I think they might get. They might have to go camping, scan shop, I don't know, or what they call it, intercontinental. But there are some areas they can get some food and stuff, you know, in the area, no doubt about it, in the Portsmouth. But Portsmouth have more of a viability factor for them to come and enjoy themselves, go to the beach. They can go to the river. They can go a number of things in Portsmouth. Yes, they can go Layu River and not Layu. Where they gonna Portsmouth, the Portsmouth River. They can go there, go up that thing, and Indian River. They can go up that thing, guys, and of course have some fun there. There's activities to do rather than going in Roseau and then from Roseau you have to take a bus and just travel long. Well, there's the botanical gardens right there, but I don't think they tend to go and want to watch flowers. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, so the first, they came down to Portsmouth, which is a good thing. I think they need to have more boats coming to Portsmouth. But the second, which is tomorrow, they have another boat that's coming, and Woodbridge Bay Port. And on the 4th, they're skipping the 3rd. The 4th, they have another boat that's coming at the same Woodbridge Bay. On the 5th, they have another one that's coming. On the 6th, they have 2 coming, bringing about 6,500 or 614 individuals. And of course, so I'm guessing, where they have it, Roseau cruise ship berth and Woodbridge Bay. All right then. Anyways, on the 7th, based off the cruise ship schedule, that will be the last one for this schedule, brothers and sisters. They'll be bringing about 2,686 individuals, and they'll be docking on the Roseau cruise ship berth right there. But I definitely do think that more of the boats need to come down to Portsmouth. I am not, brothers and sisters, I'm not kidding. When you go on cruise and people go a number of places, especially in the Caribbean, the people look for the beaches to go to. This is why Antigua is serving a lot of tourists, because they want to go to the beach. If you go to Roseau, you're not going to any beach. Brothers and sisters, you would have to take, sometimes you have to take a bus or something for you to go to the beach. I have seen people come out from the beach and go in Fonkole makeshift beach. That's not a beach for tourists to be going, brothers and sisters. I mean, come on. Sometimes they have to drive them all the way to Mero for them to go to the beach. Park these people in cabrits, and they can literally just walk to Purple Turtle. Walk, Take a little jog. They're eating plenty on the boat. Let them go and take a walk, man. I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, I think that'll be more viable to do, And then you can take them to Cold Soufriere. You can take them to a number of places. You can take them where the winds come by. You can take them on top of the clouds. There's a number of places you can go in the north of Dominica. You can take them all the way to Capuchin. I'm sure Capuchin will be a nice spot to take individuals. You pack them in cabrits, they take a bus and they go Capuchin, a little drive and whoop whoop. But they do have to fix them roads, no doubt about it. But I think that'll be a more reasonable thing. You go Roseau to do what? What? Brothers and sisters, most of the people that come Roseau, where they going? They stay on the boat. Bring them out, man. Let the people come on the beach. Bring some jet skis there for them to ride and so forth and so make the thing lively, man. Fidela, come on, do something. Is that your jurisdiction? Whoever is in charge of the Cabrits area. Anyways, brothers and sisters, let me know your thoughts right there. And of course, this is the sentiment that I'm thinking about right there. I think this was as a result of 2024. And then you get the amount of cruise arrivals. So keep in mind, cruise arrivals, I guess, on the basis of 315,000 that you've seen for Dominica, I guess the amount of boats that came in, bringing the amount of people, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the people actually came out of the boat. So I'm guessing this is what they're talking about right there, bringing about 315,000. However, when it comes down to individuals participating in Dominica, we have to look at the stay arrivals or stay over arrivals. And of course, as you can see, cruise arrivals 315,000. However, stay over arrivals at an all-time low. And if you look at places like Costa Rica, realize that they have cruise arrivals less than Dominica, but they have more, way more stay over arrivals. I'm guessing the individuals taking a plane and traveling to Costa Rica and staying there and so forth and so forth. Actually met some individuals who are migrated from the United States under the Biden era and they moved to Costa Rica and Colombia. So, that's, I think, something very interesting that needs to be understood right there. But let's look at what is taking place with the Caribbean as compared to Dominica. So Dominica apparently has the least. No, not the least. Grenada actually has the least. Less cruise arrivals in Grenada, but it has more stayover arrivals in Grenada than Dominica. Almost double it right there. So that says something. Even though a number of individuals come up via the cruise, I definitely do think that more people tend to want to come back to Grenada as opposed to Dominica based off what we're reading right there. 90,000. That is truly something else right there. And then we have the tourism minister talking about they're trying to reach 500,000. Okay then. All the best. You don't have cruise arrivals 500,000, but you want to. But then again, I guess it doesn't really matter about the cruise arrivals because Costa Rica is less than Dominica when it comes down to cruise arrivals, but have 3 million stayovers. Anyways, St. Lucia has way more than Dominica, has 435,000 stayover arrivals, Antigua, 330,000. Cruise arrivals, 823,000 plus. St. Kitts and Nevis, much smaller than Dominica, way much smaller than Dominica, had record-breaking numbers when it comes down to the stayover arrivals. So they had cruise passengers coming in. St. Kitts 725,000. Stay over. St. Vincent and the Grenadines had less than Dominica when it comes down to cruise arrivals. As you can see, 315,000 versus 225,000. But they have stay over arrivals more than Dominica, 100,000 brothers and sisters, as opposed to Dominica, 90,000. So it's interesting when you look and compare and contrast when it comes down to the sentiment. And I do think that Dominica definitely should be doing much better than these islands, because Dominica has way more. Dominica has volcanoes, Dominica has hot sulfur springs, Dominica have bubbling water that cold, Dominica have bubbling water that hot, Dominica have all kind of things. Breeze, the four winds combining. We have all sorts of things in Dominica. Mountains, you want to see mountains, you want to see flatlands, you can see it everywhere in Dominica. We have rivers, seas, just name it. And Dominica is, not living up to its real name, which is very interesting. So I just had to point this out right here. Anyways, brothers and sisters, moving along right there. Oh, of course, Ralph Gonsalves lost the elections. Even though we've seen on the basis of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they're doing relatively well when it comes down to cruise, not cruise arrivals, but stay over arrivals. However, it doesn't mean that you have less cruise arrivals, mean that the people stay on the ships as opposed to Dominica. Because I remember, you guys, I'm not joking, you guys can go on Aerial Dominica and type in cruise ship and Roseau, and you will see that I did the aerial shot, and you will see the amount of people that were on the boat. They were on the port in Roseau, brothers and sisters, and these people refused to come out. They were all on the boat having fun with themselves. So when it comes down to the sentiment, brothers and sisters, Ralph Gonsalves got the humble pie, and it seems like he wants to give SKERRIT the humble pie right there. Pass it on to your comrade. Who is next for humble pie? From my understanding, Ralph has been stripped of his security detail. So, he's like normal like everybody else. After 24 years, 25 years, if you want to count that in, he has been stripped. So that's a heck of a thing for you to go back into, brothers and sisters. Because, of course, that means his salary will drop. That means the power he thought he had would no longer be there. And it's going to be a hard transition for him, realizing that the power that he has no more. For 25 years, that are cemented inside of you. And I think that is a huge problem right there. When you have been in power for quite some time, this is why I believe that there should be term limits, 2 term limits right there. I think that is something that needs to be passed in the Caribbean. No doubt about it. Anyway, brothers and sisters, this is Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph, are you still coming to St. Lucia to help your comrade Philip Pierre win? Yellow is the code. Well, let's see what he has to say.
I'm George Stone, St. Vincent and Grenadines, to express my solidarity with Prime Minister Philip Pierre and the St. Lucia Labour Party, the sister party. And when we win here on the 27th,
which they didn't win.
I'm going there after I have the new government, at least after I'm sworn in.
He thought he was going to win.
And a deputy prime minister is sworn in. At the invitation of Philip Pierre, I will be in St. Lucia at least for the final rally.
Well, he lost. This is why it's important that you understand being humble. It is not your motherland, it is not your fatherland, they didn't give it to you. Now look at what you're saying. You're making it seem as if you must win the elections as a result of must winning the elections. Then you'll be there to show solidarity to your friend, Philip Pierre. Now, a number of persons have different takes on it. On my thought, I think change needs to happen again. When you look at the trajectory of what has happened in St. Lucia, I think it's on the basis of fairness. Because as you can see, based on every election, it seems like the people keep getting fed up with their previous representatives. Because in 1997, brothers and sisters, the Labour Party won over the yellow. Let's say red and yellow. The red party won over the yellow. Next election, 2006, the red party lost to the yellow. Next election, 2011, the red party lost and won to the yellow party. So that they keep flipping back and forth, back and forth. 2016, the red party lost and the yellow party won in 2016. It flipped again, brothers and sisters, 2021. 15 of the red party won and the yellow party won. So do you think that the yellow party will win this time, 2025, since it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? And I think that makes sense because, you know, it tends to keep corruption at bay, so to speak. Doesn't mean there's no corruption in St. Lucia, but it doesn't give the individuals who have power to maintain power for them to be able to settle in their corruption. I think how it looks like in St. Lucia is that a number of persons will look at what is going on in St. Lucia and say, boy, if there was a government there for long, like the Dominica government, that would have been a huge issue when it comes to that. By the way, guys, my body adapting to the cold weather. That's why you hear me like this and I'm coughing a little bit. Sorry about that, by the way. So this time, do you think it's going to flip? Do you think it's going to flip? I think the best time the Red Party, Labour Party won their great grand seats was in 1997. They won 16-1. And it seems to be going back and forth, back and forth. You see 2016, in 2006, it was 6-11. Then it flipped 2011, 11-6. Then it flipped back to 6-11. Then 2021, it flipped 15-2. Do you think the Labour Party is going to win, or do you think you're going to lose, as we've seen a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth when it comes down to the sentiment right there? Let me know your thoughts, brothers and sisters. But of course, on the streets, we have a number of individuals out there, and of course, it's chaos that happening in St. Lucia, from my understanding. Apparently, the people are not getting along. This was apparently last night, brothers and sisters. And, you know, yellow and red, not in unity. They were causing some commotion. I don't know if they were on campaign trail or something. But people are camping on the day before election? I don't know. But they were having their thing, brothers and sisters. And they ended up, you know, in the octagon, brothers and sisters. They ended up in the octagon on the streets. I see a partner have his rod and his staff. I hope please Splitty trying to split, not beat. All right. So this was apparently the situation that happened in St. Lucia last night. But I just pray God, just for the sake of what I saw a while ago, I think the yellow party should win. From my understanding as well, from what I've seen before, I have seen, you know, just by observation, it seems like the businesses I know that used to thrive back in the day, I don't know if they were getting help from the government, and then because the government switched over, they're not getting help again. But when I went back to St. Lucia, brothers and sisters, it didn't look like these businesses were doing well. So based on that, my understanding from that, I'm like, you know, that's not a good thing. And I think the government should switch back and maybe, you know, maybe these businesses will come back up. Because I think when it comes down to the understanding of entrepreneurship in St. Lucia, that is something that is very strong. And when I see businesses that were not struggling before and they're struggling now, I think there needs to be some sort of adjustment. Now, like I indicated before, it could be on a biased point of view because I don't know all the businesses, but I do know some of the businesses right there. But for the sake of avoiding corruption, I think yellow should win again. And I think for the sake of the businesses that I haven't seen, I'm doing well. It could be they're running their course. Their course probably over. I don't know. But, you know, based on what I've seen, brothers and sisters, for the businesses to come back up, I'm guessing they do better under the yellow government. And as a result of being under the yellow government, then, you know, things should take. I definitely do think that sentiment should ring true for Dominica as well. There needs to be a change. Dominica government has been there for far too long. Even the very system of understanding far too long. There are people telling them that Dominica has been last for far too long. Under their steed. Admitting that Dominica has been last Kakarot for far too long, brothers and sisters. Not done with us, but something needs to be done. When it comes to the sentiment right there, brothers and sisters, I didn't see one of the things that I noticed, I didn't see St. Lucia Prime Minister going anywhere across the Caribbean and campaigning, or going to the United States and campaigning and this kind of things. I didn't see none of that stuff happening. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see any of that stuff happening. And because I did not see any of that stuff happening, why should the Dominican government be doing that? To get votes from the individuals overseas to come back to Dominica to vote when these people are leaving overseas. I saw an interesting comment. Let me see if I can find it, brothers and sisters. Hold on. Okay, guys, I found it, and this is what I actually saw right there. This is actually on something. I can't remember where I got this, but it was on my WhatsApp, brothers and sisters. And of course, this is what I saw right here. Apparently, this individual is a labourite living overseas, from my understanding, living in Antigua. And this individual is saying, come back where? Narrating that dream is a myth. That individual is saying. Narrating is saying, oh, so there is nothing in Dominica for you to come to. Interesting. You said it, not me, but your words speak volumes. So this individual is a labourite who left Dominica, from my understanding, brothers and sisters. Left Dominica, living in Antigua, wherever that person is living, but living overseas, saying, come back Dominica for what? Come back where? For what reason? But whatever, they are youth supporters of the present team in Dominica that supports, and of course they are supporting Labour. So now we're asking the simple question, also there's nothing to come for, nothing in Dominica for you to come back to? I didn't see the full message, but that's what the sentiment I'm getting right there. But your words speak volume because he's indicating come back where? You know, come back where? But you're supporting, I don't understand. This person is then agreeing with Narine Murphy, saying, Narine Murphy, and to him things bright and creamy in the Commonwealth, even though that individual is living overseas, escaping Dominica's economy for them to see betterment, but they're supporting the very government they escaped from in another man's land. That they escape from, brothers and sisters. That is what flabbergasted me, man. You know, I just made that word up, brothers and sisters, but I'm flabbergasted by this, man. You are supporting a government that you escape from to live in an economy that is better. In fact, if it is indeed in Antigua that individual is living in Antigua on the betterment of a better economy that is far better than Dominica. In fact, the very government of Antigua, who apparently is buddies with SKERRIT, this in Dominica's GDP and stating in 10 years, our surplus alone is more than the GDP of Dominica. The surplus alone. So the surplus was what they started at 1 billion and it moved to 2 billion, brothers and sisters. That means their surplus is 1 billion. And that is more than Dominica's entire GDP. Far less to compete. So that individual is living overseas. And apparently, based on what these individuals are saying, and to him things are bright and creamy in the Commonwealth, even though they escaped from Dominica to go and find betterment. I never understood this. This is why when individuals want to come and say they want to come and vote and they're living in overseas, brothers and sisters, you're not willing to make the change. My goodness gracious. But the also funny part of this is that people in Dominica also seeing that they're going through struggles and they're still voting for the same thing, for breadcrumbs. They want to get the breadcrumbs. So they keep voting for the same oppressor that destroying their ability and destroying the country's ability to far exceed the other Caribbean islands. If Antigua is a $3 billion economy, Dominica should be a $9-10 billion economy. Only beaches Antigua have. Beaches, casino, and hotel. So, brothers and sisters. But beaches, casinos, and hotels alone Antigua have. Dominica, I just said what Dominica, reverse beaches, everything. Brothers and sisters, we are boiling water that hot and boiling water that cold. We have we are the second largest boiling lake. We're sitting on 11 active, not dormant, you know. They active, they're not blowing up. They active, brothers and sisters. Talk about the fate of a mustard seed. You live in on 11 active volcanoes that are not blowing up. And you're telling me that Dominica wouldn't far exceed Antigua that only have beaches, casinos, and hotel? But you overseas saying bright and creamy in Dominica according to this individual right there. Brothers and sisters, I just had to respond to this sentiment right there. So that's very interesting. But it seems like the people know. Sometimes the people overseas know exactly what they're talking about. They know exactly what is happening in Dominica. They just don't want Dominica to do better than them where they are. Why? Because if they know they left to escape better, for betterment, they escape worse for betterment, and then the worse become far better than their betterment, that means they have to come back. They have to put their tail in a boom boom and come back, not true? So they want to make sure that Dominica stay the same so that they can, you know. There's also a number of Americans that tend to come down, brothers and sisters. I say Americans because they pretend like they're not from Dominica. So Americans are coming down. And one of the things they know, they say girls in Dominica are very easy to get. So they rather stay that way. So when they come down, they can come and do whatever they want, free up themselves, whoop-de-whoop, and go back to where they come out with the promise. And sometimes they'll just give these girls promises that they're going to take them to America with them. But they don't stay there for 5 years still hoping for promise. Anyways, brothers and sisters, I'm going too far. But you get the point right there. Let me know your thoughts and comments on what I spoke about in DSC vibrations. Am I correct? Am I wrong? Tell me. Let me know, brothers and sisters. Also, what are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Anyways, brothers and sisters, this is all about after these vibrations. Like I indicated before, don't forget I will be reacting to the video or the comments on the video that has the most comments. So definitely leave your thoughts and comments in this here one. And of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Click it and subscribe for more vibrations. So when I post them, of course, you'll be notified when I post new videos after you subscribe and click the bell. And of course, with that still ready, brothers and sisters, be real, start thinking always. Thanks so much for watching. It's about Mystelics once again. Be positive.